These days with social media, it's just so much easier to get caught thinking something that everyone else is saying because you're reading it everywhere. But when you might not realize that could be part of a larger issue that's happening, and psychologist Dr. Rob Robinson here has coined it as mindjackings.
Yes.
That is a new term.
That's true.
And it's come right here from the source. And we have the source here to talk about it. So what is a mindjack?
Well, you know, essentially it's when we get really, for all intents and purposes, seized by our own thinking in response to things that arise, or our own thinking relative to who we are, and what we're doing. And most of the time, people are not aware of the fact that they've been taken over by their thoughts, their thinking, and actually hijacked from the standpoint that, you know, they're no longer present. For example, if you're worried about what's happening an hour from now, and that's where your mind is focused, you're not really present. You're not really here. And these little thoughts become stories and narratives, and the narratives become filters through which we see things. So that's kind of how it works.
So it's sort of like a preemptive thing where you naturally felt this way, and then you allowed that to be the precedent for your life, and then you never go near it because you always felt that way, and that builds over time.
That's correct. And largely, I mean, you know, these mind streams, these thinking patterns about, you know, life, people, situations, life events, whatever, you know, are accumulated over a course of a lifetime. And people are not aware that, you know, there's an opportunity to watch that and then be able to make some shifts in terms of not only how they see themselves, but how they think about something, the meaning they give it.
Okay, so what are some ways, like, how do you figure this out? Is it like oh my God, I've been denying this my whole life? Like, is it a big moment where you realize it? How do you know?
Well, I mean, the first thing is you have to really begin to work at trying to see yourself in a different way. In other words, not see yourself as the thinker, but as the watcher, the observer of the thoughts.
Of yourself.
Yes.
Your own observer of your own thoughts.
In other words, that we have a higher power within us, which is to be able to watch what we're thinking. That's consciousness. That's the higher power. You know, watch the mind. Almost like you'd watch a misbehaving child. So you could be, for example, you could be standing in line and you arrive at the pharmacy or whatever, and there's 6 people in front of you, and there's one person waiting on customers. Immediately, what normally happens in an unobserved way, unconsciously really, is to start building resistance into that.
Being like, I hate screaming children. That is annoying.
Why are there not more people waiting on people here? I shouldn't have to wait. How come someone's talking so much? Why are they asking so many questions? I've got things. So immediately in that moment, you've created resistance. There's pressure, there's tension. The mind is creating a scenario inside that says, this shouldn't be this way, even though it's there.
All that negativity comes in all of a sudden.
Absolutely.
Just because you naturally don't like that.
Correct. And that changes a lot of things. I mean, it affects, obviously, how you feel, because emotions are simply physical manifestations of thinking, and it affects how you behave. So by the time you arrive at the counter after you've been thinking about how much you hate this and how this shouldn't be happening to you, even though it is, it's here, there's 6 people in line, it can affect how you talk to somebody, how you interact with people.
Your general well-being, how you present yourself.
Right.
Because you're so preoccupied with
Correct.
the negative. So, and everyone watching, I'm sure, feels the exact same way, where they're stuck in line, they're at a pharmacy, so at a restaurant, and they probably want to know, how do they overcome this? You know, when they're on a date or something and it's loud and they want to get over that, what do you do? How do you prevent this? I
mean, so the most important thing is to begin, you know, watching what you're thinking. Observe the thought, right? And try to embrace a motto that kind of works like this: everything's neutral. Nothing has any meaning except the meaning we give it.
Right.
So if you can watch what your mind's creating in response to something, you can then have the ability to start realizing, you know, I can shift that. I don't have to be a victim of this thought process. Is there anything really bad happening to me in the moment I'm in? No. Then why create resistance? Why tell yourself that story?
Right.
I mean, imagine coming in every day to work and thinking as you're driving in, I hate this job.
I do not feel that way at all, I'll tell you that much.
Or I don't like this person, right? Well, that's a story that you've adapted. This is just a thought pattern. It's not something that has to be thought of. And the situation, by and large, is a neutral situation. So observing what you're thinking and then allowing things to be. I call it the SCAD method. You stop, you calm yourself. Usually, let's go back to the pharmacy line, right? So you stop and you watch what's going on inside your head. You're the observer, not the thinker. Stop, take a deep breath, allow the moment to be as it is. Just allow it. It's here. Why create more resistance? And then deal with it. Meaning, deal with it,
Right.
Stay patient, stay calm, right? But don't create a story around it or an identity around it. An example of an identity around events like that happen to people would be to say, this is the story of my life. Or that person drives me crazy.
Right. Well, unfortunately, we are running out of time, which is the story of our lives sometimes. When you have so much wisdom coming out of man. Thank you so much, Dr. Rob Robinson.
Thank you very much.
Guys, if you're getting mind-jacked, there's a way to prevent it. If you want to see this again so you can take notes, go to mymassappeal.com. Thank you, Dr. Robinson. You're welcome.